Object is also like a form. Object is also like a form which has many fields inside it. Which has many fields inside it. So, sorry, class is like a form where it has many fields. Objects are like a person. Whenever a student, 1, 2, 3, whenever a student come and whenever his particular object has been created, a form's all properties will be belonging to that particular student. All right. So all the attributes should be given to that particular object. So how will that particular form have all the predefined values which has to be assigned to this person? You getting it? So if I have any values which I want to initialize at the time of object creation, then we go with the topic of constructors. So constructor is called whenever an object has been created. In other words, a constructor initializes an object immediately upon creation. It has the same name as that of the class in which it resides, but only thing is it's a function. Okay. Once the constructor is automatically called immediately after the object is created, before the new operator completes, constructor look a little strange because they have no return type. That means the constructor, even though it is a function, it will not return anything. In other words, it's a void. It's not even a void. Okay. Basically, we don't have anything. It's just a class name with open and close brackets. That's it. This is because the implicit return type of a class constructor is of the same class itself. Why do you want to return something? Right? It is happening for a complete object of the same class, right? So it doesn't make any sense if you are returning again a type which is of the same class. So it is constructor's job to initialize the internal state of the object so that code creation of an instance will be fully initialized. Okay. We'll look into this particular demo here. Here you might be asking, okay, where exactly is a constructor? Look for the class. Okay, this class name is box. Is there any function belonging to that particular class? Yes, here is one. So this will be a constructor. There can be many constructors. This is one more twist here. There can be many constructors with the same name also, with the same name, but it should be unique with respect to its parameters. That is important. It must be unique with respect to the parameters also. That is one twist here, because we don't want ambiguity between the constructors also. All right. So what are the properties of a constructor? Constructor has the same name, right, as that of the class. So here it will be the same name as that of the constructor. The first point. The second one is constructors will not return anything. So no return. Okay, not even void. Remember that. If you put anything, it will give you an error. Not even void. So we'll be looking on few small examples on this. Then we'll come into this particular case of example. All right. So we'll look into few things. I think this was the last. Yeah. We had some breadth, some rectangle. Okay. We will go with something called as new class, and with that particular class, we'll call it as a constructor. All right, so we have created a class constructor, and I have many class here. So my main, subclass will be of class. What I say is book. What I say is class book, and this is a class now, and I also give a particular constructor of this book also, right? A book in turn will have author name, right? So let's go with the page book number or volume number. So let's take it as int volume number, and I have some int pages. Then I go with some string of name let it be array. And okay, let's go with these things. So automatically, whenever I create main method, whenever I create a main method here, which will be my main class actually, main class will be of constructor class. Yeah. So main, so I have here, I'll create some object which is of book with the name of it as book1, no issue, book1. So here, whenever I call this book, I'll also have another member function, which is called as void display. I'll call it as void display. And what the display function does is it will show something, right? What exactly it will show? It will show the volume number is, so concatenating something with volume number, then followed by the pages are, we'll come to a new line. The volume, yeah, this is not allowed here. So volume number and the page number is, so concatenation operator. Then what is that? Pages, right? This is pages, which I'll display. And the author is a bit bigger text here, but still no issue. The author is, what will be the author? What is that name? Name. Okay. So first up, I'll close and I'll come back. Okay, there is some error here. What is that? Delete this token. Okay, another concatenation I missed. Okay, so it is now displaying something, right? So what I have done is I have just created this book, and what I'll do is book1 dot display. I'll go with display. Okay. Okay, there is one error which it is showing. Can anybody now rectify? Can anybody tell me what exactly is that error? The local variable book1 may not have been initialized, right? So new book, the constructor part. Okay. This is a program where I do not have any constructor. That means default constructor will be called. So what exactly is happening here? I'm creating, okay, execution starts from the main, creating one book object from which class? From book class. I'm creating a new object and assigning the variable here. So I'm going to display what exactly we have here, right? So by default, the value for the constructor here is what? 0 for volume, 0 for pages, and null for the name, because I don't have anything. That's why if you see, the volume number is 0, the page number is 0, and the author is null, because I have not assigned anything. Are people getting it? Anybody has any doubts here? Anybody has any doubts? Anybody has any issues in understanding this? What exactly we did? Okay. Yeah. Anybody wanted to say something, I guess? No issues. All right. So we'll come back to the constructor here. what if, okay, constructor is not there because you can see that I don't have a book function anywhere here, right? I don't have a book function anywhere here. So what do? I create that particular constructor. I'll create that particular constructor. So why exactly you need that constructor? Why exactly we need a constructor? We need a constructor to actually, so it didn't give any problem. Why? Because this is my constructor here. We need to initialize. So a good programmer will always give what exactly is the program doing actually, right? So it's a constructor. And here I say that I'll just print out. Wait, I'll just print something here. Okay. I am in the book constructor. Okay. So in order to get to know that whether this book constructor will be called automatically or not, we'll just run it. We'll just run it. Okay, I'm in the book constructor. So did I call that constructor anywhere here? The constructor will be automatically called. The constructor will be automatically called. That's what this thing, I mean, this constructor has now been created. I also told you that I cannot have multiple constructors with the same name, but I can have something that makes different. That makes a difference here. Constructor cannot have the same name with the same parameter list. Constructor can have with the same name but different parameter list. That is possible. I also create another one here. It will give me an error, duplicate constructor. But if you go with some int a, comma int b, so now all the parameters are different. Here, this is one constructor with no parameters. This is constructor with one parameter, and this is the constructor with two parameters. So which one will be called? So let's look into that. If we look into that, by default, in the book constructor, okay, I'll just mention here because everything has the same. I'm in what I'll call is zero parameter book constructor. This is one parameter. Okay, what about this? This is having two parameters. Okay, now what do you say now? Where will this, which particular code will be executed? Which code will be executed? Anybody can try. Which parameter will be called now? I have three parameters. Guys, I hope I'm audible and I'm clear with what I'm telling. If people are finding it out difficult, or you can let me know if you are facing some issue.
Can you switch back to the code, sir?
Okay, I'm going back to the code, and yeah, so this is my main method, and I'm calling a constructor here, something called as book. So automatically it comes to this case. Anyhow, my program, it's nowhere telling me that you're wrong, and it is telling me that okay, the syntax is perfectly fine. So which statement will be executed? Okay, zero parameter constructor is what I didn't get the name. I didn't get your name actually. Okay, so Bhuvan says that this is I'm in the zero parameter book constructor. Let's see. Of course, it will tell us that it is a zero parameter book constructor. Why? Because in the object creation, am I sending anything? Am I sending anything? If not, you just send some value 10. If you send some value 10, that means it sees one variable. I mean one parameter. Run it. One parameter book constructor. If you send two values over there with comma separated values, two parameter book constructor. Okay, I'll give another value now. Which one will be now called? Which one will be called? Straight away our suggester here, it is telling me that int comma int is undefined, right? Even though if you give, there'll be a syntax error, okay, which cannot find. This is the beauty of the syntax checker, right? It is doing simultaneously. Okay. So this is called as parameterized constructor. If you do not give anything, then it becomes zero parameter constructor or no parameter constructor. All right. I hope you people are following it now. All right. Yeah. Why is this thing still giving me error? Any errors which have been caused? No. Okay. So zero parameter constructor. So what is the beauty of constructor? We displayed something, okay. And in other words, I actually explained you about the how is a parameterized and unparameterized or a zero parameterized constructor work simultaneously. So what is the beauty of the constructor? The beauty of the constructor is to initialize the value. To initialize the value pre-handedly. That means I'm actually giving it. So it's not volume, it's volume number. Sorry. So that's why it's giving me an error. So if I give no constructors, automatically what it's doing is it is taking the value volume number as 10. And what about the pages will be equal to, let's call it as 100. Okay, then what about the name? Name will be equal to, okay, I'll be the author for this, no issue. So I'll be the author if it is not giving any value here. So let's give some value as 20. That means, oh, 20, okay. What is the error here? Type mismatch. Name equal to, okay, I'm sorry, small mistake here. Yeah, so name equal to Abhilash. If I don't give any parameters, if I don't give any values here in this constructor, it will give me the default value, whatever I give. It's better, I'll just put all these things in as a slash in. Okay, what I'll do is a slash in here, and with pages after this, another slash in, so that it gives me a proper result. Okay, the volume number is 10 and the page number is 100. The author is Abhilash. If in case I give some volume, if in case I give some number, or I want to give my own number, say int a as something, right? If that is the case, what I need to do is again the same volume equal to, what was it? 10, is it? Okay, 10. And what about the remaining thing? Remaining thing refers to, it will be null. Why? Because I'm not using it. Okay, if you give some value, or else what I'll do is I'll copy the same. I'll print it here. This time it will not be Abhilash. This will be Bharat. It will be Bharat. Volume, not volume. I'm sorry. It is volume number. Okay, for the second parameter, what I'll do is I'll insert the value. Not this will not be a 10. This I'll put it as a. Whatever you send, that volume number it will be taking here. Then the third thing is volume, and you can also give your own value of a and your own value of b also. Okay, that will be for the pages. And if you don't give any of the values, the name will be, okay. Is there a Swati in this class? Okay, hope not. Then I'll give the name as a Swati. So another one is I'll create another 3-parameter constructor. So I'm in 3-parameter constructor where I'll also take another value, so which will be of type string, and I'll give it as name. No issue. I can give it as a name. So name equal to, instead of here, I'll use this dot name. Let me explain you the concept of this now itself. All right. So it will be helpful for me whenever we are discussing about the this keyword. All right. Yeah. So followed by So here I am giving as a name. That means whatever I send here with the values, right? Automatically that constructor will be called. Okay. I don't think the program has become complicated yet. Yeah. So any issues here, guys? I'll show you the output. Then you'll be having some questions. All right. So I'll run now. So whenever I run the program, what is the first thing which I'm doing? I don't have any parameters. So do I have any parameters here, guys? Do I have any parameters here?
No, sir.
Okay. If I run, what will be my answer? Can anybody guess based on this?
Volume 10, page 100, name Abhilash.
Okay, same way, volume 10, page 100 and Abhilash. Okay, that was the one constructor. What I'll do is I'll create another object for your understanding, which I'll call it as book 2. Book 2 will be equal to new book one, book of, I'll give some value. I'll give some value as 20. I'll give the value as 20. I'll comment this because I don't need it. Okay, now if I run, what do I get?
Errors.
Okay, now.
Now,
Now,
volume volume 20, page 100, and name Swati.
of course, but I'm not using the display function here. I'm very sorry. Display. I think Bharat is what it will be. My display. Let's see. So book2 dot display. If I run it, so what do I have in basically with book 20? That is one parameter. What do I have with one parameter? With one parameter, volume becomes whatever the value which you send. Pages will be by default 100, and the name is Bharat. Okay, name is Bharat. The third thing, again, with respect to the other one, what I'll do is I'll copy the same. Here, my book will be 3, and the object will also be now 3. I don't want this for now. So what I'll do is actually book. Now the second parameter is looking for few values, right? The second constructor is looking for few values. That is 20 comma some value I'm sending. So how many values I'm sending here, guys? 2 values. So it looks for, do I have a constructor which is accepting 2? Even though it is accepting 2, it will check, is it matching with whatever the data type which it is looking for, int and int. Okay, both looks fine, integer and integer value. It is, that one will be selected. So 20, whatever the 500 value which you sent, and Swati will be displayed. Okay, and this is one thing. And the next one is I'll also create another object which I call it as object 4, and here this object will have few more information. Let's call it as, this is the 15th volume and it has around 1000 pages, and the name is there a Shankar here? No, because I don't want to take people name who are in actually the session. That's why I actually asked. So if I run this code, it will check for 15,000 and Shankar. So where does it best fit into? Okay, int and int. I have int, int and string. Okay, where is that int, int and string? Int, int and string is over here. Select that. Select that. Whenever I am selecting it, it is giving me one value of null actually. Okay. Okay. Let me go with what I'll do is name 1, and I'll go with name 1. No issue. We'll speak about this keyword later. We don't want to confuse it now. Okay. So book 4, new book 15,000 Shankar, book 4 dot display, and once I run it, Shankar will be displayed. So this is how a parameterized constructor actually works. Okay. All right, so display automatically it is displaying. Any issues here, guys, with this code of constructor what we saw? Any issues here? Prajwal, do we have any issue? Any doubts? Bhumika? Any issues? Bhumika, Purnima or Purnima is also there, I guess, in the class. What about others? Nisarga,
No doubt.
Prashant, Bhuvan, okay. Supriya, Tej, Yogesh. There's also from MT. Uh, any issues from civil department, mechanical, mechatronics? All right, so I guess this is one constructor. We'll just look into the theory part, but I have shown you the practical part here. So, of course, you can also display everything, provided I just take out these comments also. Everything will be displayed automatically for each object. So you can see all the four particular constructors which have been called. So 0 parameter, which is 10, 100 and Abhilash. So 1 parameter, which is 20, 100 and Bharat. And with 2 parameter, 20, 500 and what was the name which I did not send here. But in the 3 parameter, I sent the value which was Shankar. So Shankar will be displayed. Right? So how much ever times you create an object, so many number of times the constructor will be called. All right. So I guess we have spoken much about the constructor here. Yeah. So few of the things which I didn't show here is what would happen if I give a constructor a return value. It will give me an error. Okay, this method must return a result of its type, but it cannot send it. Okay, result of its type is it's the same class actually. Can I do that? No, you cannot even give anything. The constructor should have only the constructor name. No type will actually support, not even void. Right? Even the void is also giving a warning symbol. It's not actually giving, void refers to I'm not sending anything, but it is giving me just an error. But we have that constructor, even an exception has been created, a runtime exception has been created, even it's just a error here, right? So constructor should not even have a return type, not even void, as simple as that. So that was which we spoke here. This is one program which does the same with height, width, and depth. I took another example and I showed you. All right. So even this particular concept of parameterized constructor has been now looked into. What does it mean by parameterized constructor? Whenever this is the one, right? Whenever you send the parameters towards the program, so those parameters will be actually caught by the constructors. It will be assigned, and whenever you display, it will be displaying it, right? So basically, I actually uh, showed you the values of it, right? This keyword is what I wanted to show. Let's see that demo also before winding it up. So what I'll do is, so I have a box of double with whatever the parameters WHD. So what I do is, if I want to initialize the value of that particular class value of the name, right? So I use that. So this dot name, if I give it as name alone here, so now I'll be getting, I'll just comment all the case here so that it will not be a problem. Okay, this I needed. So Shankar is what I'm sending. Shankar is also received at the same place, but this name and this name both looks the same. What does it say actually? What does this say? This name is matching with the same name which I have within the with the variable, right? So which belongs to this particular book. All right. So this is a keyword which says that this particular dot variable is belonging to this particular class. This particular class, and this will be your regular name. You can see that the values of volume, pages, name variable are shown in different color, whereas A, B, and name are shown in the different color, so that you'll be able to understand that you can also use the same name, provided you should know which is the belonging to this class and which is not belonging to the existing class. So if I run it, automatically the value Shankar will be sent to this particular parameter here, and this will be clearly will be residing towards the name called as this dot name, and this name is actually belonging to the existing class. All right. Do we have any issues with this keyword which we spoke here? I think that will be the end for today.
It belongs to class now, sir. So when we print all those names and all, it will be repeating a Shankar itself for respect to that particular parameters will be executed.
Okay. Valid question. It will be only reflected to this particular statement only. Another, once again, you take a name here. So name will be made as 20. So I have a problem here again. Okay, name cannot be a 20 anyhow. It's a string. What I'll give, I'll rewrite it. So you can see whenever I did not use this, that means that compiler got to know this is a name which is belonging to only this block. Whenever you use this keyword, it goes to the class. Member variable. It goes to the member variable. Now what I'll do is I'll just rename it. Name is equals to Suraj. Perfectly fine. But now, which will be the value which is considered? I'll also rewrite it. Now again, it will get to know that whenever I give this keyword, that particular name is belonging to the main variable, the member variable to be specific. So this, if you do not use this keyword, that's understood that that's belonging to this function temporary name. This is a temporary name which outside this particular block, it will lose its value. Outside that particular block, it will lose its value. I hope I have answered your question which you were referring to. All right, I think we'll stop at this time.